Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. And now, here's your host, Shiloh Sellers.
Hello and welcome back to the first episode of Sooner Sports Pad this season. I'm your new host, Shiloh Sellers, alongside my fellow rookie, Christian Dudley. And this guy, well, you know that guy. That guy's Sam Brown. Guys, who is making all of this noise tonight?
We got the lovely men and women of OU Spirit. Let's hear it. Let's go. They get Rockfield living. They're used to it. They're fired up, and they should be, because we have a friend of the program in the audience tonight, Caleb Kelly from the Oklahoma football team.
And later on, we'll dive into the journey that brought Jalen Hurts to Norman and has him leading Lincoln Riley's potent offense.
Plus, Christian and I will break down the Sooners' blowout win from the granddaddy of them all over UCLA.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Sooners traveled to Pasadena this past weekend for their game against UCLA, and in proper Sooner fashion, they took the Rose Bowl by storm. They beat the Bruins 48-14. Jalen Hurts had a dominant performance, responsible for 150 rushing yards of the Sooner total of 309 yards rushing. 4 Sooners, count them, 4 were able to make it to the end zone, including CeeDee Lamb, who recorded his first career rushing touchdown. And let's talk about Sim Charleston Rambo. He continues to show his incredible athletic ability with 5 catches for 160 yards on the night and 2 touchdowns. Now on the other side of the ball, Jaden Davis. He wins my MVP for defense by far with 6 solo tackles on the night. Now the Sooners went to Pasadena, the Rose Bowl in particular, after their loss in the college football playoffs last season. They wanted redemption, and boys, did they get it.
Yes,
Guys, you were on the sideline. What stood out to you this past Saturday?
Straight and simple, Jalen Hurts. This guy had a lot of expectations going into the season, and he surpassed every single one of them. This guy's been dynamic in every aspect of the game. It's been so impressive to watch. He's been able to extend plays just as well as the 2 previous signal callers that have done it in this offense and find his receivers downfield. It helps that he's got an offensive guru in Lincoln Riley, but he's manning this offense along with the best that have ever done it. To back that point up, he's become the first Oklahoma quarterback since 1985 to have 100 rushing yards in the opening quarter. The guy's record he broke, Jamel Holloway. He's leading it 1985. He's leading the team in passing and rushing yards, averaging nearly 10 yards a carry. Let's take a look at his stats. He's got 10.7 average yards per carry, 19.3 yards per completion, second in the Big 12 for rushing yards. This weekend, he had 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. This guy, Houstonite, and I have a strong feeling we will see him in New York at the end of the season.
I'll take a trip to New York any day of the week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Switching over to the defensive side of the ball, I'd be lying if I said the Sooners secondary was top-notch last year, but then Alex Grinch and Roy Manning came to the rescue, and the team has flipped the switch this season. They are balling. Last season, the Sooners only forced 6 interceptions, and 1 of those came from defensive end Kenneth Mann. So far this season, Oklahoma already has 4 INTs, including Buki Radley Hiles' pick 6 against South Dakota. They're getting production across the board from veterans like Trey Brown and from young guys like Jaden Davis. And how about this stat from Parnell Motley? He had 12 passes thrown his way in the Sooners' first 2 games. He only allowed 1 completion. 1! Just 1!
Monty Island?
Hey, obviously, I'm not going to say they're the best in the country. There's still some growing pains, and even they know that. But I'll say this. Last year, there may have been some pigeons in that secondary. This year, there's some ball hawks.
Yeah.
They are going. They're going for that ball.
They're coming.
Well, unfortunately, the Crimson and Cream have a bye week, but there's not going to be a game on Saturday, and that's the really sucky part. Hey, it's okay. Even though there's not a game, these boys are still going to put in some work.
Yeah, they are.
Just, going in this bye week, there's going to be a ton of things that we have to get better, and still a lot from tonight. But, we're making some big plays. We're still making too many mistakes, still putting ourselves behind the chains with penalties too much. So, we know our guys and our system well enough that we can go back and look and know, yes, we're doing some good things. I'm not sitting and say we stink, but at the same time, we're going to have to get a lot better, and we can play a lot better regardless of what the stats say.
Definitely learn from our mistakes. I think we'll be in the film heavy and fix some technical things. This is the early bye week, so we'll learn from what we can and move forward.
urgency. You know, and I've said it for a long time. You know, since we've been together, is you know how critical that piece of it is, and we got to make sure that we're taking major strides this week. I think from a health standpoint, we're probably pretty good. You know, going into a bye week, you know, at some point, maybe actually a couple guys back. You know, Ken Mann and we'll see kind of what the timeline is on that.
We know we're going to continue to get challenged with the people we have coming up, and we got to keep growing.
Now, 2 other teams here on campus have also been putting in some work. OU soccer was also on the road up in Omaha, Nebraska, the home of the Omaha Mavericks. And OU volleyball, they were in action right here at home for the Nike Invitational. Christian Sam, break down this weekend for us.
Yeah, the Sooner soccer team got out to a hot start. They won 4 of their first 6. Unfortunately, they're starting to cool down a little bit, but that doesn't mean they won't pick up steam in no time at all. Over the weekend, they went down to the Cornhusker State of Nebraska and played Nebraska and Creighton. Unfortunately, not able to come away with the win. But one positive note to take away from these games and the rest of the season so far. They played games that stretch to an hour and a half. 7 of their 8 games have gone 2 hours or longer. This team knows how to play long games. They are in great shape and know how to pull it out in the clutch. 4 of their games have gone to overtime. They know how to play.
Hey, now they've got some time off, maybe get some fresh legs and get another win streak going. Hey, meanwhile, the volleyball team also got off to a hot start to the season, and they actually kept that one riding here in Norman with the Nike Invitational, taking off wins in both of their games this weekend. The Sooners kicked it off with a straight sweep of the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. They actually trailed early in all 3 sets, but managed to tie them all at 15 apiece before pulling away for good. Later that day, the Sooners picked up another dub, this time against Georgia Tech. Kylie McLaughlin picked up her 7th straight double-double with 46 assists and 13 digs. Paige Anderson was named the MVP of the tournament, and she was joined on the all-tournament team by McLaughlin and junior Sarah Sanders, who was actually from my hometown of Plano, Texas. Shout out to P-Town. This volleyball team is riding high, 6-game win streak, and they've got their last 2 non-conference games this week against Texas A&M and SMU.
Each of these teams have been playing really well.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have right now, but don't go anywhere, because when we return, Sooner Sports fans, Kelsey Biggerstaff is going to take us on the journey of the transfer quarterback, that has Sooner Nation buzzing. From the SEC to the Big 12, his school colors didn't change, but the number on his jersey did. See how the new QB1 switched from the Crimson Tide to the Crimson and Cream.
I don't expect anything close to Baker Mayfield and what you saw from Kyler Murray a year ago. They both had the ability to throw the ball down the field and do it at a high level and look sweet doing it.
Highly doubted, or is it just high expectations?
I didn't say he couldn't throw. I said he doesn't throw the ball consistently and accurately well enough.
Jalen Hurts was named the Oklahoma Sooners' 3rd new starting quarterback in 3 consecutive seasons. Head coach Lincoln Riley believes it was the right choice, or maybe a trend.
You really kind of think about it in the last 3 years, we probably had the biggest name to come out of the Austin area in a long time. We've had the biggest name to come out of the Dallas area in a long time, and now one of the bigger names to come out of the Houston area in a long time that have played quarterbacks for us in 3 consecutive years, so that lines up pretty good.
In 2016, Hurts was named the first true freshman quarterback to start at Alabama since 1984. He led the team to a 13-1 record that year. The following season, he was replaced by Tua Tagovailoa in the midst of the season despite his excellent play all year. In the 2018 season, Hurts was named backup QB to Tagovailoa. But nevertheless, Hurts proved his talent in the SEC championship game against Georgia when he won the game for the Tide after being down in the 4th.
Just inside the 16, quarterback draw, Jalen Hurts, touchdown!
And Jalen knew what he was doing when he entered the transfer portal and moved to Norman, Oklahoma.
Playing at a school like Alabama and playing at a school like Oklahoma, there ain't many people in the world that can say they've done that.
2 #1 draft picks in a row and 2 consecutive Heisman winners. Some call Lincoln Riley the quarterback whisperer, and Hurts' debut with the Sooners against Houston has already begun to quiet the critics.
I saw a kid last night who throws it plenty well enough to win a Heisman Trophy, because that was a display. That was a tour de force.
While it seems everyone else has the Heisman in mind, QB1 is only focused on one thing.
Winning football games is a goal for me.
As we wait for 2 more statues to join Heisman Park, we could be expecting 3. The young phenom is sure to leave his mark with the Sooners. Kelsey Bickerstaff, Sooner Sports Pad.
Now let's get to know number 19 on the field, but number 1 in your heart, linebacker Caleb Kelly.
First question, obviously, a lot of Sooner fans disappointed not to see you on the field this season, but since you're here, just how is that recovery process going?
It's long. It's you got to be real patient in it, and I mean, you just got to work. It's one thing that's consistent. You just continue to work, continue to have fun with your boys, try to support them as much as you can, and kind of have a different role doing that.
You've been able to see this defense. What have your impressions been so far?
When they came in, I was real excited just because I liked the blitz a lot. My senior year, I had 21 sacks, and so seeing all my young cats getting all the sacks and getting all the plays, I know it's just going to carry over, and I just want to continue to do what they're doing. And I get to come back, and right now I know they're going to continue to do it just because that's the mentality Coach Grinch has, and that's just what we're going to do right now. That's how we're playing, and we're having fun doing it.
Yeah. Hey, last year, I mean, you were balling on the field for the Sooners, no doubt about it. And this year, transitioning into this year, you've actually got a new inside linebackers coach in Brian Odom. What's that relationship been like, even though you haven't been able to get on the field as much as you would have liked?
I'd like to say I'm one of his favorite guys, of course. I've been out, and so I've had a lot more time with him, kind of being on the sidelines, kind of been talking to him a lot. And he's pretty crazy, just like a inside linebacker coach has to be. I mean, we're going in there every day, and we're trying to hurt people. That's our goal. And so, I mean, and we have to run the whole defense. And so he's really cool. He's really smart, and he works really hard. Wakes up at 4:45 every single day. He's the first, one of the first coaches in there, one of the last to leave. And he said, anytime y'all need help, anytime you need anything, I got you. And he really means that. And the love is real. It's already been established between us in 8 months, and I mean, I love him as a coach, and so it's really cool.
Let's go, Coach. You got Coach Odom and Coach Grinch, 2 new guys on the defensive side of the ball. You've got Jalen Hurts on the offensive side of the ball. What has your impression been so far of him?
I mean, I've been of Jalen. I mean, you see stats don't lie. I mean, shoot, men lie, women lie, stats don't lie. And so, and then Coach Grinch and Coach Odom, just in how they've come in, and Coach Manning as well. When they come in, they demanded what they wanted. That speed D isn't just something we say; it's something we really believe in. And so it's been really cool just to see them really turn it around. We've gotten the turnovers, the numbers again, and so it's coming along, and I'm really proud of my guys.
There you go. All right, I think Shiloh's got an audience question for us with a very special guest.
Yes, I do have a very special guest. This is Raina, and she's got a question for you.
What kind of music do you like to listen to while you're working out?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good question. When I'm working out, I kind of like the little hip hop. That's how it is. But before a game, I actually listen to like Hawaiian music and like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I like to relax a little bit before the game.
There you go.
Well, that's all the time we have for now, but when we come back, these two are going to battle in the first ever face-off. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks to our cornerstone television partners, OU Medicine, Anheuser-Busch, OU Extended Campus, and our community partners, Landers Auto Group, Devon Energy, Coca-Cola, and OU Medicine.
Welcome back. And they are going to battle it out. Be sure to pay attention to who your favorite is, because you're going to get to choose your winner at the very end. Guys, are you ready for your first face-off?
I've been stretching over the break. I'm good to go. Let's do it.
Your first question is, what should the Sooners focus on during the bye week?
My thing, discipline on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to have to go with penalties. Penalties are something they have got to fix throughout this bye week. There was a drive against UCLA this past weekend where there were like 3 defensive offsides in a row. It was something that is unacceptable as a defense, and especially with an extremely disciplined team like OU is, it's something that can't happen. And on the offensive side of the ball, it's holding penalties. And once again, penalties, it's the common thread here. This team is excellent. If they can fine-tune these penalties over the bye week, they will be excellent down the stretch. And we might see them playing on January 1st.
Maybe.
January 1st.
I think so.
You heard it. You heard it.
Hey, there's no doubt. For the most part, the Sooners have been very excellent. But if there's one thing they could work on, it's just being dominant for all 4 quarters of the game.
They got something to work on?
But that's the thing. They've been so good. I'm nitpicking here. But let's dive into the numbers. You'll see what I mean. The offense looked impressive against Houston with 21 points in the first half, but also had 2 other drives that ended in missed field goals and a Jalen Hurts fumble on another one. South Dakota, I mean, it's South Dakota. We're going to go ahead and skip over that one. Guys, it's an FCS school. What do you want me to say? They were unstoppable in the first half against UCLA with 34 points, but they only scored 14 in the second half. And the defense has made leaps and bounds since last year, but out of the 59 points that they've allowed through 3 games, 42 of them have come in the second half. So obviously there's still a couple things to work on. But I mean, if they can put together a complete performance on all 3 sides of the ball, Christian's right. This team's going to be a lock in January for the college football playoff.
Hey guys, I'm here with Raina again, and she has a question for you too.
Who's your favorite freshman so far?
Ooh, good question. Good question. My favorite freshman to this point, Jaden Davis. This guy has been making plays left and right in the secondary, and it has been so impressive to watch. As a freshman, it's hard to go in and make plays right off the bat, but that is exactly what Davis has done. Davis is 4th on the team in tackles behind DTY and Pat Fields as a rotating player, not a starter. 2nd on the team in tackles behind Kenneth Murray, the starting middle linebacker. It's crazy. And one of 4 guys with an interception on this team. It has been so excellent to watch. This guy's name is going to be one that we're going to hear a lot in the PA system at the stadium. I can promise you that. Or not, because people are on Davis Island. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're not going to want to throw his way, that's for sure.
I wouldn't.
I'm going to go to the offense for my pick because Lincoln Riley hauled in 3 of the best wide receiver prospects in the country last year. But I don't think anyone expected Jaden Hazelwood to break out like he has. That dude is a beast. I mean, are you serious? He has stood out from the pack from the minute he arrived in Norman. The freshman out of Georgia is tied for 3rd on the team in receptions to go along with 133 yards and a touchdown. And get this, he's also top 20 in the country, not just in yards per catch, but in yards after catch as well. Not the fastest guy in the world at 6'2", 206 pounds, but he just knows what to do once the ball is in his hands. All 3 of those guys, Hazelwood, Bridges, and Theo Wees, have a chance to make an impact, but Jaden Hazelwood, I think, can become one of the most electric players in the Big 12 for several years in a row. But
it's the Jadens. It's the Jadens.
Hey, both Jadens falling early, that's for sure.
All right. Now it's time for personally my favorite, so you better impress me. It's viral video time. Show me what you got.
Ankle biters playing football, there are bound to be a few mistakes. It has to be. Either it's fumbles, there are a slew of mistakes. Guys running the wrong way, it can happen. Those are throughout the game. But this one, before the game. Let's take a look. It's a height. You've got the banner. Here they come. Hate to see it.
I can't imagine being the one guy.
Hate to see it.
He didn't read the play like Coach said. Yeah, he didn't read the play.
If you take a look at the banner, it says Deer Creek. Ooh, Deer Creek, Oklahoma. From the people I know from Deer Creek, that's not the biggest surprise in the world to see them making that kind of mistake. I hate to break it to you.
Calling out Deer Creek tonight, jeez.
I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, everyone knows I don't like talking about the Texas Longhorns just as much as the rest of these guys and the people at home. But I came across this video from when a hypnotist visited the team during fall camp, and it's comedy at its best. Take a look.
Take in just a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, you're going to realize. Anytime you hear me, just me personally, say the word thank you, it offends you more than anything that you've ever heard. Thank you for being so honest, I appreciate that. You look irritated.
I don't know about you guys. If someone says the word thank you, I wouldn't be happy. I don't know about that guy. But hey, if the Texas Longhorns are asleep like they were like that, if they were asleep like they were against LSU, it's going to be smooth sailings for Jalen and company on October 12th.
Alrighty, well, it's time to choose our winner. Let me hear it loud and proud if Christian was your favorite. All right. Now let me hear it if Sam was your favorite.
Come on!
Sam Brown.
Sorry, Christian, I gotta give that one to Sam. He takes the first win this season. Now, that's all the time we have for now. And guess what? We're not doing dynamic duos anymore. It's going to be a whole new challenge. Yeah, you heard me. Stay around to find out what's going to happen. It's time for the first ever challenge, and this week we brought the green to the studio. So how this is going to work, what's going to happen is we have two teams, the analysts and our guests today. Each one of them is going to get 30 seconds to putt like their life depends on it, and whoever sinks the most putts will win. All right, Raina, you will take the first putt.
Go.
Oh. That was really close, just a little softer. All right, all right.
Come on now.
Just a little softer.
A little softer. You got it. Come on, man, let's do one.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. All the time we have for Raina. Alright, alright. Alright, Sam. Step up to the green.
Let's get it, Sam.
And go, Sam.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, that was so barely out. All right, Sam is lining up. He's taking it back, and it's a little hard.
I don't think bending your knees helps.
All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we are having tonight. We are waiting on Sam to win, but make sure to be following us on Twitter and Facebook. Let's see, Sam. You've got your last few seconds.